Well, MFA Adeti is looking all beautiful this morning. She's here for us to bring you the news review. Hi.
To you, good morning to you, Kojo. And as well, this morning on News Review, we've got Kamal-Deen Abdullahi, Deputy Director for Communications, NPP. A little later, we shall be joined by Hamza Suhaini, legal practitioner and as well member of the NDC Communications team. But we kick off the newspaper review with the NPP directorates, as I like to call them. But Kamal, good morning and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, MFA.
How's your weekend been?
Terrific. And yours?
Preparing very much for Akwetia?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're geared up for it.
Okay. What has your attention? How's your week been? What has your attention in the news? Something on your mind? It could be something that's not in the news, but it's been on your mind, on your heart, you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, certainly as we live and as we're healthy and we grow, we only have to give thanks to Almighty God and also be expectant of positive things to happen in your life. We've been praying for it, and of course, we don't control it, as we all know. The Almighty, who owns the divine province and owns everything on earth, is the one who controls whatever we do. We only have to espouse wishes, which I've always done, and what I do always is to say that, look, love for all, be positive about it, be positive-minded, and ensure that whatever you do, you put in your best and do it to the best of your knowledge. And also ensure that the love for your nation is also equally as good as loving yourself. I have always been positive about whatever we do. I will critique. In criticizing as well, I would have to be circumspect in whatever I do. And I would also profess suggestions to whoever is supposed to steer the affairs of our country for the better future that we all yearn for, as it were.
Let me ask you, what one thing is the NDC doing currently that you're impressed by?
I've always maintained that governance is a continuum. And when the future of a country is hinged on education, it tells you that the future wouldn't be bleak. And for the NDC to come and augment, the budgetary support for the free SHS that we mooted that idea and implemented, to continue with it, just to develop the human capital of this country, I think that was a yeoman's job, and would have to pat them on the back for that.
All right. Well, we're joined by Hamza Suhaini, legal practitioner, member of the NDC Communications team. Good morning, Hamza.
Good morning.
How's your weekend been?
Well, not bad.
I love that great suit you have on.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, what's in the news that has your attention? If not in the news, maybe even outside of the news?
I think basically so far has to do with the happenings within the New Patriotic Party and the fact that they are undoubtedly trying in a way to contribute their quota to our national development as far as our democratic ethos are concerned. Unfortunately, it has become a source of concern and worry to many of us, considering the fact that many of our young people will be looking up to us to discharge ourselves, be it internal or external elections. And what appears to be coming out about the tribal and religious undertones within the rank and file of the New Patriotic Party is something that as a republic we must be concerned about. And knowing my brother Kamal-Deen, I'm quite convinced that he himself is worried about those developments. So it is worrying, and I think that as quickly as possible they have to rally around and try to avoid that dangerous path to politicking. That portends not only a danger to the New Patriotic Party as a political party, but even to our democratic stability as a republic. And for me, that has been one worry that I carried through the weekend, hoping that this week the narrative would be different. They will do everything within their power to ensure that we move away from that unfortunate way of campaigning. Though, to those of us in the new National Democratic Congress, what is happening is not new. We cautioned against it years ago. The NPP created the impression as though they were immune to it and they had moved away from that kind of politics. But it is sad that the former vice president is now at the receiving ends of what many of us predicted and cautioned the New Patriotic Party against. So, my brother, I think it is time for them to start playing key roles in ensuring that we rally everyone around.
Despite the other opponents saying that his words were twisted. Is that the case in point? The two flag bearer hopefuls who are up in arms about tribal remats. Is that the case in point?
I think so, because whichever way you analyze the utterances of Brian Achampong, in as much as that I appreciate that he was trying to engage in an intellectual discourse. But you see, sometimes we have to take into consideration the audience we have before us and be very mindful of the kinds of things we see, because the likelihood of misinterpretation can be very high. And that is the reason why, as political actors and as political players and leaders within the various political parties, we must not only be mindful of our language, but even the audience that we speak to. It is a critical part of communication. And if that link is missing, no matter how sincere your intentions would have been, at the end of the day, you may miss the picture. And many of these people will go out with the wrong impression that undoubtedly threatens our democratic stability. And so for me, though, I respect his attempt to explain, but we have to be careful as a political party and also as a republic, because these things are clearly signs that if we do not nib it in the bud, we are going to have challenges going forward.
Right. Kojo, maybe we have Kamal respond to this before we get...
I saw him.
It'll be fair.
I saw him trying to.
Yes, let me say good morning to my brother as well, and of course, and also continue to commensurate with the family of Dr. Murtala
Absolutely.
Ibrahim or Mohammed. Of course, a brother we lost in the helicopter crash, and also to the families of all those who were involved, as it were. I'm bringing up this because my brother sought to do a bit of politics this morning, and in our backyard in Tamale is boiling. Just a week after the funeral of our beloved brother, the jostling and, of course, the belly of politics is showing a lot of signs in Tamale which are unhealthy, very, very unhealthy, within the rank and file of the NDC as well. And I find it quite worrying, of course, going into the weekend, as it were. I don't know if the 14 people or 13 people who filed were earnestly waiting for our brother's demise before. Anyway, but that's just on a lighter note. I just think that, yes, in as much as in our political party, we have some unfortunate happenings, so do we have also in the NDC such unfortunate happenings. And these ones has to do with the example I just cited, the jostling and, of course, looking at the time span when we sympathize even with the situation and withdrew from it, giving it that kind of national, if you like, touch in terms of sympathy, in terms of, mourning with the bereaved families and all that. Our friends on the other side rather find it quite expedient for them to do their politics as usual and, be on each other's neck just because they want to succeed a man who unfortunately passed out under very bizarre circumstances, which no one wished to go through, as it were. Yes, we may talk of tribal bigotry or religious bigotry in our politics, which we all condemn. But I've always maintained that in every competition, you expect some of these signs to come out. Mm-hmm. What is important is how we manage it when it happens. Also, what is important is how we come together after the contest, as it were. Let me commend the leadership of the New Patriotic Party for ensuring that we go into this early Congress. In every competition, especially in politics, you throw at each other. And throwing at each other, you have to also be careful, as it were, what you spew out or what you say. Because like my brother rightly put it, a lot of interpretations could be put to whatever you say, a lot of analysis. Because whatever information you bring out, somebody is supposed to decode whatever you have sent out, and then to his understanding or her understanding, what he thinks or she thinks it is. And it may cause a collective damage, as it were, to your political party. Unfortunate as it appears, but we are sure of coming together to pick up the bits and pieces when they come up, and then, of course, forge ahead for victory, inshallah, in 2028 after our presidential primaries, as it were. Yes, the side of Brian Champon says I was taken out of context. I spoke in context, and I was taken out of context. Outside the side of Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, who I support strongly, also think otherwise, that, look, at least you could have done better in terms of your utterances. Because it is not about this. It's about the bigger picture. Okay? And we've questioned. The enclave, or that enclave, the Boku side, which are about 6 constituencies or so, since 1992, what has been the performance of the New Patriotic Party there? We've always asked. President Kufuor did a bit better, okay? We won Boko at a point, lost it again, okay? And at a point, we never get any seat there. I'm not to say, or it's not to say that we don't do, well, as it were, but how significant, hugely, and I'm choosing my words well, how significant, hugely, is that, okay, when it comes to the national picture for presidential votes? Okay, so because of that, somebody will say, I want to do an intellectual analysis and maybe gain some advantage, as it were, but you may cause damage to your own party. That's my problem. Because if it's about Mampusis and Kusasis, and we want to go the tribal way, the Mampusis who you feel one of their own is contesting with you would also say, wait a minute, we are also voters. It's not just about Kusasis. We also have population. They also have population. What we should do as a people now, that is why they call on every political party to appear nationalistic. And every also politics that we do, speak when you are speaking, make sure of national cohesion being espoused. So for me, I think that where we single out tribalism or bring in tribalism, I think we're going to have problems, as it were. As a party, it's unfortunate some of these things will come out, but like once again, I want to say that, look, we are going to pick these bits and pieces together, put them up after the election, and inshallah, we are going to match NDC good for good.
Also, do you pick the lesson from Hamza when he says you should watch what you say?
Absolutely. I mean, I even referred to him when I said that, look, a lot of interpretations could be put to whatever you say. Okay. So as a politician, before you say anything, calculate it.
Before.
Okay? Very well. Because the little thing you say, look at what happened in Rwanda some time ago. How did we get the genocide triggered? Just somebody sitting on radio and speaking against a particular tribe. Was it the Houthis or the Tutsis? And it culminated into what? Millions of people died.
Okay.
So I think that we should be careful whatever we say when the cameras or the microphone is put before us.
Okay. If I have the news center and also the daily guide. But there's a story in the news center. Let me just go through the front pages. It says tribal politics dangerous for NPP's progress, according to Dr. Bawumia. Upon Nkrumah inspects new school block in Ofuase Ayerebi, after over 26 billion financial sector cleanup, 6 big banks in crisis, unlikely to meet capital requirements and require mergers or bailout, Fitch warns. WAEC releases 2025 BEC provisional results. And the big story for me, Bagre Dam spillage, 81 people dead, 120K lives displaced, 76,000 farms lost. Now, and I want us to deal with that story. It says Burkina Faso's power utility Sonabel will begin a control spillage of the Bagre Dam on Wednesday, August 27, 2025, after water in the reservoir climbed to 233.98 meters. That's 86.38% to full capacity as of Friday, August 22. Ghana's Water Resources Commission relayed a notice to local authorities and first responders, warning residents along the White Water and adjoining flood plains to, quote, take necessary precautions, unquote, and follow safety guidance from district assemblies and emergency agencies. Then in their editorial, they give us numbers. And they say that the record is sobering. At least 81 lives have been lost in major spillage years since 2007, including 25 in 2009, 19 in 2020, and over 30 in 2018 alone. More than 120,000 people have been displaced or directly affected, while some 76,000 hectares of farmland, much of it rice and maize, have been inundated. Well, I mean, for all these years, why are we still dealing with this problem without finding a solution?
Good question. Great question. I think it's politics and lack of commitment on the side of leadership. When I say leadership, I am referring to both divides, both sides, the NDC and the NPP. More especially those of us from up north.
Really?
More especially. Why? I was born and bred in Upper East region. I grew up in Upper East, even though I'm from Northern region, as it were. I grew up in Upper East region, and I know that enclave very well. Polygu, and of course, what actually they go through annually when the spillage of the dam happens, from the Bagre running to Polygu to the, is it the White Vault or the Upper Vault or whatever they call it. You see, point is, when I say we haven't shown commitment enough, we haven't shown leadership enough, we should realize that, look, at any given point, a project that is earmarked for us is not just for a political party or whatever. Today, look at Pokwasi Intergen. Are we all not using it? My brother Hamza is NDC. He drives past there. I am NPP. I drive past there. It's a national monument. Why can't we, for once, also think of irrigational projects that will economically help, affect us positively, and as leaders commit ourselves to constructing such dams? None of those led administration commands something like that. What is this government going to do?
What did you commence?
Yeah, we talked about building the Polygu Dam, okay, to ensure that, irrigational dam, to ensure that at least it gives the economic value that we want. The commitment was there. As to whether the funding was actually gotten, as to whether it was just entirely GOG alone, what was the commitment? Of course, there will be some bottlenecks. But like I said, handing over notes will be given. And if handing over notes are given, and somebody is at the helm of affairs or steering the affairs now, what is that person saying about this project?
So you mentioned commitment.
Yes.
What defines that commitment you say your government showed?
Why? The commitment, first of all, to even moot an idea to say that, look, we need this project put in place, and then commands steps to ensure same is commitment. That alone is commitment.
Commence steps.
When I'm saying, of course, yeah, we had invested even. The project has started. I'm aware that the Polygu irrigation dam actually was a project given. Of course, like I said, you may have some challenges or bottlenecks along the way, but what is important is that there was something like that initiated. Now, if the new government comes in, the new government ought to review whatever is there and also show same commitment to say, look, we are going to have this thing built. We're going to ensure that this irrigational dam that is going to bring economic value to these people in that area, we're going to get it built.
Have you heard the news that there's nothing there really?
Point is, preparatory, look, every project has its preparatory stage.
Okay.
Every project. Your consultants ought to work, people ought to do drawings, people have to sit in the room, offices to work as it were. Where did they get to? That's why I said, look, review it, look at what is there. Okay? Let us not so be fixated with the negatives. What was the positive implication of this project? And should it end, how are we going to benefit it? Yes, you can do all the politics. The money has been spent, this has been said. I'm not saying no one should be checked. No one should go unchecked. Okay. We should check each and every person who is in that project. And if there's a problem, bring it out and unearth it. Now, if you unearth that problem, what is the solution? Bottom line is we must ensure that that project, so as it appears lofty to all of us and good to all of us, we should make sure that that project see the light of day. That is basically what I'm talking about. And I'm saying that the NPP has been in government, the NDC has been in government, all of us have run this democratic representation for 32 years or more. What have we done to ensure that when Bagre spillage happens, okay, there is a big irrigational dam that can consume it, that at the end of the day, the damage, the havoc that it causes will not happen? That's the question I'm asking here. But we continue blaming each other, and the problem continue to persist. That is unfortunate to us as a country. Very unfortunate.
Okay. But we understand your government spent some 12 million on it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that, look, governance or government is a continuum. I am not saying that.
Yeah, I get you, but I just
was done.
$12 million.
What? Why do you have auditing? If you sit down and say somebody has spent $12 million, it is your duty to do the auditing, do the checks, come out with the facts that we have. Okay. Then when you come out with the facts, you then say, okay, I'm also showing commitment to it. Having known this is the way to go, so we can have that project in place. It is the importance of the project I'm looking at. And of course, whoever spearheaded it is still there. Documents are there to trace. Payments were made. You cannot just go into the consolidated fund just like that. Money, of course, if spent, must be accounted for. Okay. So that's basically what I'm talking about. What is important is that my government mooted the idea, thought there was a good thing to be done with this, so that when this happened, the people who are poor there continue to be impoverished because of this spillage will not actually see that again. Okay.
All right. Hamza, you agree that that they showed some commitment, at least, to moot the idea that let's construct this dam to take care of the spillage so that we can save our people, from all of this hardship. But since the idea was mooted till now, we haven't seen much. What must be done? He is calling for continuity because you're all from there. What government should do in ensuring that this comes to life?
I think, first of all, let me make the point quickly that my initial commentary on the tribal happenings within the New Patriotic Party was nationalistic in character, and I did not seek to score any political goals out of it. It was simply a caution I was throwing to the New Patriotic Party. And it was quite strange that my brother decided to rope in Tamale Central to do his politics. Unfortunately, if there is any politics to be done, it has to do with the 1992 Constitution of Ghana that appreciates that at every stage, there's going to be the likely effect of people losing their lives and seats becoming vacant. Nowhere in the Constitution has it been said that when such unfortunate things happen, then people must be appointed to occupy these respective seats. The Constitution itself anticipated competitive elections. And so whatever is going on within Tamale Central is within the remit of our law. And as far as electoral democracy is concerned, I do not see the fuss about the reference to numbers and the fact that the NDC is jostling for the seats of the late Murtala Mohammed. With the greatest respect to his memory and to his family, I'm sure that he himself will tell you that the Tamale Central constituency was not his personal property. So for that matter, any other person who believes can project his legacy and that of the National Democratic Congress is more than welcome to contest in that particular election. Having said that, the spillage of the Bagre Dam, I think that we should be tired discussing this matter, in all honesty. I started hearing issues of Bagre Dam as way back in secondary school. Then to training college, it was one of the topical news to always anticipate at the end of every year. Same at the University of Ghana. It has become an annual ritual where we expect people to lose their lives, properties destroyed, farmlands destroyed because of the effects of the spillage. Unfortunately, we as successive governments have not lived up to expectation in managing that particular challenge. And I agree with him that the time has come for us to bring closure to proposals aimed at controlling the situation or better managing it for the sake of the lives that we lose annually from that stretch. But you see, you cannot also do any effective commentary on the Bagre Dam spillage and its effects without making references to how, especially in the last 8 years, it was managed. In all honesty, Kamal, I hate to give it a partisan outlook, but I can't also assess the performance of the last regime in that regard without looking at the kind of interventions they brought on board. Remember when the then president of Burkina Faso came to this country and we were calling for meaningful engagement with the president, of course, our president and him, to find a way of addressing the issue. The president was interested in giving him a national award. Remember, in 2018, Nanado decided to award him with a national, one of our highest awards, Volta.
Order of the Volta.
Order of the Volta. Thank you for the correction, MFA. For the president, that was what was present then. So we missed that golden opportunity to have that interaction, needed interaction with him. Because you see, you cannot find amicable solution to the issue by simply stroking the ego of our Burkinabe's counterparts. It is about law. It is about international treaties that surrounds how these things should be done. How are they committing themselves to these international treaties as a republic? Yes, we want to be an effective neighbor to Burkina Faso, but it does not mean that we want to do so at the peril of the lives of the innocent Ghanaian. And so these are some of the things we should be talking about. And remember, when Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia was campaigning to be vice president of the Republic of Ghana, he assured us, especially those of us coming from the north, myself and you, that something of that nature would be a thing of the past, because we live it on yearly basis, and he knows the effects of the Bagre dam spillage. What did we witness? $12 million washed down the drain with nothing to show under his vice presidency for 8 years, under the guise of building the Poalugu Dam. So, Kamal, we wanted an opportunity to be part of governance and to provide solutions to our people. The northern extraction, especially from the Mamprugi area to Upper East, listened and gave Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia the mandate. What did he do? Because it is a major problem in the northern region, especially around the northeast side.
Well, so Hamza, I mean, we've seen that. We've seen that expenditure. That's in the past. He's calling for the commitment in continuing the project. Can we have that?
Yes. If you are patient, patient. But you see, it is important for us to have these discussions, not only intended as a punitive criticism against Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and the NPP, but also as a timely reminder to this current government that indeed, if they also fail in that regard, Ghanaians will come back to that issue and hold them responsible. Because I make these comments knowing fully well that the sitting president is also from that zone. So I would want to see workable commitments on the part of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, which I am convinced that this time around he would confront head on.
Okay.
For the sake of those of us who are hailing or who come from that particular enclave. And so it is important. But we cannot reach that compromise, or we cannot get a workable solution to it if we continue to stroke the ego of our Burkinabe counterparts. Okay. It is about the law. If they were on the receiving end, I'm pretty much convinced that they would have invoked all our international agreements and treaties to ensure that it is done in a responsible manner. And these are some of the things we should be looking at. Because we bear the brunt of the effects of such spillage. What would be their economic commitment or financial commitment to the Republic of Ghana in terms of coming out with solutions to that particular spillage problems that we have? Are they willing to contribute a quota in that regard? How much are they willing to dedicate to the Republic of Ghana in our quest to find an amicable solution to it? These are some of the discussions we should continue to have.
The total cost for that project, according to the Ghana Education Development Authority, was $404.75 million. So your argument is Burkina should take
how
part
much of
this.
That is Burkina Faso willing to take?
Okay, interesting.
And then maybe the 12 million exactly was 11.9, right?
Yeah, 11.9.
Has it even been audited yet?
I'm told it came up strongly in the work that the Honorable Oguchido Ablakwe and Co did prior to the
oral.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm told it came out strongly, and I'm convinced also that as we speak today, investigations are going into it, and he knows. So, but
Gida explained then that the 11.9, which is 12 million, formed part of the mobilization that they should have paid to the contractor. Actually, according to the contract, they said they should have paid $48 million as part of mobilization to the contractor. And then they go further to say that, well, he did some works, the access road to the contractor's campsite and what have you. But like Hamza put it, there has to be auditing for us to know whether that commensurate with,
Both of you should maybe take us on a journey to that area because you're both familiar over there. Beyond the structural requirements, beyond how much we've spent so far, the people that live in the communities, do they understand what really happens when they say they're about to spill the dam? Do they really understand? Because you recall in 2018, there were even debates about how many people lost their lives. We won't even talk about assets, but people say 8, people say 30, which means that we may be losing counts, which means that for over 15 years, the 81 persons that we are recorded, it could even be more. But do they understand? Because encroachment is one of the things that have been highlighted as well. Is it very, what's the territory like? How easy or difficult is it for a government to say maybe relocate people? Do they understand it? Or because those are the farming communities, they're very attached to the area? Let us in. What is it like in that community?
Okay, MFR, let me agree with my brother that we need to join forces as a people to ensure that the lives of those people affected there yearly is protected. We need to join forces to ensure that this project, which is going to be economically valuable to us as a country, is indeed seen. I recall that on the 7th of August 2024, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, when he was campaigning to be the President of the Republic of Ghana, emphatically stated in Bolgatanga that the Polygood Dam project is going to be completed under his watch. Emphatically stated that. Okay? And went further to say what we have all said this morning. I spoke about audit, I spoke about handing over notes, I spoke about documents available, and that any amount of money spent must be audited and justified, as it were. He spoke about same. Now, the next thing I spoke about, which is the commitment, is what is lacking from this government. If indeed we are all from that area, the president is equally from the north. That is why he emphatically stated in Bolgatanga that under his stewardship as president, the Polygood Dam project is going to be completed, and we're holding him to it. He said so. But interestingly, your first budget, if you find it so important, you found it expedient to chastise others, now you are not finding it important to include same in your expenditure for the people to level or to measure your level of seriousness. Yet you sit here and want to still blame NPP. We have handed over the baton to you. Ghanaians say, NPP, look, we are okay with you. We want NDC to steer the affairs of Ghana.
They were not okay with it.
Wait a minute. NDC says we are going to.
They said you failed them.
No, with NDC says we are promising on the 7th of August 2024 to complete dam project.
Complete?
To complete, yes.
In a year?
No, he said so.
Is that a promise, President?
He made a
promise, but didn't give a timeline to finish.
Look,
is that what he did?
Promise, initiate a process to ensure that you will do. You know
the feasible project to do.
Why?
Within
construction of the dam. My brother rightly put the $400 and something million.
If allocated when? Yeah.
It's not chicken change. I thought you would have done your evaluation, you would have done your calculation before even making such pronouncements. And you know very well that you have your legacy tenure, only one. You're going for 4 years. You told them emphatically that under your watch, that project will complete.
Okay.
So we are holding you to that.
Let's just say that that's a very ambitious vision. Hamza, this year.
Ambitious vision here.
Let's just say.
We're not saying. We are saying that the man has promised us.
Okay.
He saw it, he evaluated and said he was going to do it. Now your first budget does not even talk about it at all.
Which I want to have
at all.
Yes, and I'll respond to you.
Yes.
Also, Hamza, this year,
it wasn't politics.
The spillage would happen anyway.
Yeah.
What differently?
It's coming up on Wednesday.
I'll get to that. I anticipated that. But you see, MFR, first of all, two strands. First of all, Kamal.
Yes.
You know better.
That what?
And so in doing your politics, we must try as much as possible to stay true to the facts.
That what?
It is not inaccurate to say that His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama somewhere in August 2024 promised that the Polygood Dam will be completed under his tenure. His Excellency President Mahama does not have a 1-year tenure. It is not 1 year. You see,
the project for
please. And when he made that promise, he was explicit under my tenure. This is the first year. And we are still looking at the expenditure that went into that particular Poalogo Dam under the leadership of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the NPP. We are still investigating. It will be so irresponsible to continue to pour resources down that drain without getting a hold of what the actual situation is. At the end of the 4 years, if we are unable to complete it, you can confidently sit in this chair and question government's commitment. But remember that even upon assumption of office, we were quick in letting you know, and the good people of this country know, the mess you left us economically. So there are so many of our expenditure buttons.
So this year, when the Hamza happened,
let me land on this quickly.
When the spillage happened.
No, you see, but this is important. This is important. Look, there were so many expenditure buttons that we had to postpone because of the kind of economic situation we inherited.
Granted.
So you need to appreciate that.
Granted.
And be rest assured that if we bring everything back on track, Poalogo will be one of the pursued policies that would give comfort to you and the good people of the Northeast region.
So this year,
but now coming back to this year, see, something instrumental happened. Unfortunately, may the soul of our brothers rest in peace. The likes of Dr. Alaji Limuna. He was specifically tasked to be in charge of human security at the national security. And I can assure you that based on the discussions that I was privileged to have witnessed, the Poalogo Dam spillage was anticipated, in all honesty. It was anticipated. And so this time around, they were looking at how they could approach it with a human face, including forceful ejections with the help of national security people. Because mind you, many of these people, it's not as if they are not willing to move. And they were thinking of collaborating with NATMO. Many of these people, it's not as if they are not willing to move. But they feel like if I move, where am I moving to? So if there are alternative arrangements that we can quickly move them to, and possibly also have a way of dealing with the issue of loss when it comes to their farmlands, because many of them have started the farming season. They've started farming.
Yeah.
And there's that kind of conviction that, look, maybe it is not going to get to me. And before they realize, it gets to them.
Okay.
That is the more reason why government, through that national security outfit, the human face of national security, must be active in this particular spillage. They must go out there. If people would have to be moved out forcefully, let us do it and ensure that we do not lose a single life this year. As for farmlands, I can assure you that there's no way we can save them. Many of the farmlands will go, unfortunately.
They usually migrate the livestock, do they not?
Sometimes they do, if you're able to engage them quite timely. Look, many of our people are simply unwilling to move because in their estimation, it's not going to do anything to them. And that is the reason why the state, through national security this time round, must not mince words.
Okay.
It must go out there, direct them to move. If they don't move, if they have to be moved forcefully for the time being, because it's only temporal, let us move them forcefully and ensure that we protect lives. As for protection of property, I cannot sit here and guarantee it because I doubt.
Yeah.
Many of the farmlands, unfortunately, many of them would be washed away. So, but we must find a lasting solution to it. We can't continue on this trajectory.
Okay, well.
And I hope and pray that you do the needful by holding us accountable, yes.
Absolutely.
To ensure that it is done. We would respect that.
Not me doing the
Kojo, shall we stay up north a bit?
Sure.
Because for the NDC, I'm quite surprised that Tamale Central, the number of people that are showing interest.
Oh, you're surprised? You're quite surprised.
I am quite
very
surprised.
Good. I'm happy with this thing.
Maybe I should say fascinated.
That's fine.
That so initially was 14. It's been slashed to 12. But Hamza, you're here. Is it 14 or 12? As of this morning.
Idea. Honestly, I have no idea. Because if I tell you I've been following the activities of Tamale Central, I'll be lying to you.
Why?
At the point he was even accused of being one of the contenders.
I know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at the point they said
it didn't start now. Even when the Honorable Inus Afisini decided to
you had to issue a disclaimer.
Yes. I remember that same year again, I had to issue a disclaimer that I was not contesting because if the constituency chairman is listening, he was one of the first people who called me to argue that, look, the time had come for me to step in. But I've always believed that it will be unfair to the good people of Tamale. It will be unfair to the good people of Tamale Central for that matter. I do not subscribe to the kind of politics that suggests my brother is just next door. Tamale North, Tamale Central. I do not think that we are the only family in Tamale blessed with the opportunity to contribute to community development. Many other people should take up that opportunity. If they were to be maybe outside Tamale, it's something probably I would have contemplated doing, but within the same backyard.
A question to you.
I don't think that
Are you surprised at the numbers?
I am not. And so for me, I am not. Anybody, any follower of Tamale, the politics of Tamale Central, this shouldn't come to you as a surprise. It has always been a hot constituency. Indeed, it is the nerve center of politics in the northern region, for that matter. We are not talking about Tamale North, Tamale South. We are talking about Tamale Central, and that is the nerve center of our political activism. And if you like to, many of those of us who are either in Accra or outside the country, many of us have our roots in Tamale Central. So if you look at the list that seems to be going around, a chunk of them are coming from outside this country who also want to sow their political roots by possibly trying to see whether they can win the seat or not. So it is not surprising to me. If such numbers were recorded in a constituency like Nantom, maybe Tamale North, Tamale South, it would have come to me as a surprise. But Tamale Central, goodness me. I am only hoping that we don't actually even get to 20.
Oh.
Yes, and you see, that is.
I hear they're calling for more forms. I hear they're calling for forms.
Has it ever happened?
Calling for forms.
You're not surprised. Why are you hoping you get 20?
That is why I'm saying that, because I'm not surprised about the numbers. You think that 12 or 14 is quite outrageous. Why is it 12 or 14? For me,
you can actually get there. You can actually get to 20.
It is possible, because I'm telling you that.
Has it ever happened?
That
it's gotten to 20.
No, it's never gotten to 20. It's never gotten to there. But I'm just making the point that it is possible. Because now people are more exposed. Now we have so many people who are very popular from the Tamale Central constituency who would want to give it a shot.
Including yourself.
So well. You say it is possible so
well.
No,
but you see, the fact that people have come to pick forms does not mean that at the end of the day, all of them will end up contesting. It is also possible that at the end of the day, we may have about 4 or 5 people actually going through the contest. It is highly possible too. But you see, that is the beauty of democracy. It creates the impression, and for me, it is a fulfilling one, that people are gradually becoming awakened. And there are many of our people out there who feel that they have something to offer, especially when it comes to our electoral politics. And that is commendable. In the past, you used not to have such interest. Somewhere in 1992, he knows, 96. You used not to see that level of enthusiasm in our political activism, especially when it comes to contest in northern region. It used not to be there. The fact that people are now getting interested in occupying these positions, we must commend it. And if you look at the list so far, they are young people who feel that they have something to offer. And most of them claim that they have been inspired by the legacy of the late Honorable Murtala Ibrahim Mohammed, and for which they want to continue. So let us encourage them. I think that is the beauty of electoral democracy. Let us encourage people who feel that they have something to offer to come out. And let us not condemn largely because we feel that there are so many people coming out to contest. Let the screening process take its course. Many of them may be vetted out. Many may pull out on their own, because as of yesterday, I'm told, on my way here, about 2 people had pulled out. I saw it on social media. So who knows? I have taken a decision not to be interested in what happens there, because the little thing you say, before you realize you are part of the problem, not the solution.
Wait, so the NPP decided to. Now I'm hearing from Hamza, and I feel that it's indeed the nerve center for the NDC. It's quite a hot place for the NDC. Did the NPP just chicken out?
Oh, interesting.
All in the name of.
I like the angle you want me to take it from. But before I get to that angle, just as my brother had to divert or deviate a bit before coming to the substantive matter, I still find it so important to, bring to closure a discussion on the Kamal-Deen Dam.
Please proceed.
Very, very important. I think this government must show commitment. First of all, they should know that pragmatism is the way to go and not rhetoric. If your big push is not even citing Kamal-Deen Dam at all, and the president is on record to have promised that he will do it in his tenure, I think that it is a wake-up call on you to ensure that your big push also inculcates this into the head. Despite, your struggle for capitalization for your big push even. I don't know. But of course, he says we should hold them to it and we'll continue to hold them to it. To Tamale Central, I hinted on that earlier on, and my brother said I was doing politics. In his submission, mixed reaction by himself. In one vein, the number might even rise from 14 to 20 because of the left center. The next moment, who knows? Maybe only 4 people or 5 people will end up contesting.
Which is
with a great respect. I know what the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
What is bringing this inconsistency? It is because of the circumstances surrounding the vacancy that has been created. My brother says, I wouldn't talk much on this. I don't know what to say that somebody will pull me into something. It tells you that politically, there are certain comments and vegetations in there or over there that he wouldn't like to associate himself with.
That's true, and
Clearly,
it's always been so.
You get what I mean?
Not
so
just
that
now.
is why I'm saying that, look, it is so pathetic, a circumstance, so sad an event, for us to have involved. Look, despite the argument of law, that Constitution says there should be primaries, there should be elections and whatever, we have humanity before politics. And I've always said so, especially Mutala, who, my brother agrees, I was in his house, he was there. We're together when it happened. You understand? We all felt it, unannounced. And to that extent, we NPP said, what has happened befallen us? Well, what has befallen us as a country? We will withdraw. This needless competition, okay, in the midst of all this sad situation, it's not worth it. That was our reason. Then we withdrew.
How would you have the NDC?
Now, some, with respect, some then say, some then say that because we know we're not going to win, that's why we're checking out.
That is
interesting. That's not true. Okay. First of all, he is from Tamale, and I am from there too. Mustafa Ali of blessed memory, NPP, won it twice.
When was the last time you won?
I am saying, with a girl, no, it is
from 2004.
I am giving you the history of that constituency.
Yeah.
Mustafa Ali of blessed memory won it twice for NPP.
Which
now you are HU.
Oh,
Don't do this kind of politics. Now you are HU.
No, please.
Hamza, please let me.
You get it, MFR?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm saying that Mustafa Ali won it twice. We started in 1992, we didn't contest. 1996, we contested. Okay? And of course, Mustafa Ali came up. So, of course, you can get the history of it. But I'm trying to say that, make a point that NPP has won that seat before. 2, when our brother Barahama contested, the numbers in Tamale Central shrank. The way the NPP used to win it, he says it's the left center of the NDC. But I'm telling you, look at the votes of NPP going forward. Even when it came, it was apparent that it's for the NDC. Our performance wasn't that bad until 2024 election. I am trying to say that, look, where there's competition, obviously, you'd have to come up. At a point again, we had one of our own, Wayoseni, winning that seat, even though on NDC, but defecting from NPP to win that seat again. He lost later on again when he went for independent. I'm trying to say that there's history in it.
You have my attention.
Finally on this matter.
You have my attention.
Finally on this matter.
I think you've made the point quite clear that if NPP had contested, would have performed well and all of that. But
yes.
How would you, let's move to how the NDC's got some numbers.
Yeah.
And you know, getting our attention on the emotional side that, I mean, because of the way it was, that's why the NPP didn't want to contest. And I'm asking, how would you have the NDC then? How would you have that seat be treated? How would you rather have it?
Be treated by who? By the NDC?
Yes. How did you want us to represent? How did you want the people of Tamale Central be represented?
We in our party, I don't know of their constitution. We in our party, we have, and as also, and I believe they have same. We have primaries, that's election that will, of course, has to go with competition. And we have what we call selection of candidates.
Okay.
Okay? And how that selection of candidates bet is arrived at. Point is, the party look at the circumstances, sits and say, look, it is not worth it for us to go out there and throw mud at each other, especially with what we have found ourselves in. Can we analyze situations, do candidate search, pick somebody quietly, and get someone to represent so that at least we spare the nation of some, if you like, cacophony and all that. They should have done that. Okay. But for people to be jostling, and my brother saying, look, I don't even want to say anything to be misquoted.
I think you forget
tells you something is happening.
His brother is next door. You forget that point.
Well, no, not about that. He said he doesn't want to say anything, not the contest.
That is what I'm talking about.
He doesn't want to say anything.
No.
That's why I'm hinging on. He knows what is happening.
No,
he cannot sit on set to tell you this is what is happening in Tamale Central. But I tell you, it's not palatable. It is not palatable. And I will repeat it, it's not palatable at all.
Why didn't you just take one person?
So let me respond to that. You see, MFA, first of all, when I said that I didn't want to say anything,
it's not.
My utterances could actually constitute the basis upon which some people within the constituency may conduct themselves in ways that maybe if I had not made those comments, they wouldn't have. That is the fact. Because
you are repeating what I've said.
No, because I am an interested party as far as the constituency is concerned. I have people who are loyal to me.
You are repeating what I said.
You get the point I'm making. And so if I'm not careful and I say things, I would rather be creating instability.
The same.
That is what
exactly what you are saying.
Started this conversation.
Yes,
it is not because Tamale Central.
So it tells you it's not palatable.
That's why I started the program by cautioning about the utterances we make as political leaders.
But would you talk about Tamale?
Now coming back.
Would you talk about Tamale?
No, even Tamale North. Anybody who knows me, I try as much as possible not to run.
Would you talk about, say, Okaikwe? Would you talk about any other?
Yes, I can. Because you see, when I run commentary on Tamale North, it's peculiar. Because when I run commentary on Tamale North, and if I'm not careful, what I would say may have repercussions on the image of my big brother. So I try as much as possible to distance myself from these zones. I don't run commentary on Tamale South. I don't run commentary on Tamale North. I don't run commentary on Tamale Central. It's a matter of
if there's no time,
would you
run away?
Okay, you make the point.
He asked an important question about why we could not have considered selecting a candidate. MFA. I think that those discussions came up. But you see, if it is about honoring the memory of the...
And you were threatened.
Can I make a point?
You know that?
No, we are not.
You are not?
Can I make a point?
Come on, please let him have his time.
You see, if we are actually committed in a way...
Wait, Kamal, you have my attention. Were you threatened?
Yes, they were. There are videos. I can show you.
Him?
By delegates.
Me? Threatened by who?
By delegates on the ground. That they are trying to impose a candidate on them.
No. Give me a minute.
Okay.
Give me a minute. Were you threatened?
Not at all. Nobody threatened.
Okay, so we have clarity on
that. Not at all. But you see, the point I'm making is that I had those discussions. I heard that there were discussions to more or less get a compromise candidate. But you see, the beauty of Tamale Central is that is why I've always told us the NEF Center. I don't have a problem with any decision by leadership to go with a compromise candidate. Let me put that on record. But the difficulty with Tamale Central is that if you are not careful, it's likely to create an impression that indeed the candidate, they are trying to impose a candidate on the constituency. It can easily be done in any other constituency, especially the rural communities, rural constituencies. Like Nanton, we can reach such a compromise. So there are many constituencies we can do that. But Tamale Central is not one constituency. You can do that. If your intention was to avoid chaos, if you are not careful, and you actually bring such a candidate, they will brand the candidate as being an imposition. And the needless talks would emerge. You understand? So what you wanted to avoid, you clearly would have ended up throwing that constituency into that unfortunate situation. Now that they have opened the gates, people have gone to pick forms. It is peaceful. I see them having fun, cracking jokes. Yes, the aspirants. And you cannot make reference to even one incident of a conflict among the aspirants. Absolutely not. Right. It has so far been peaceful. And so the most important thing is for them to be given an opportunity to elect a candidate of their choice, which I am convinced that we will do. This is not the first time we have had to elect a candidate through a by-election. That's how the Honorable Inus Afiseni emerged. The same Tamale Central in 2006, when we had to go for a by-election, and he won.
Okay.
So,
all
Kamal, I can assure you, unlike you people,
We would do everything to ensure. Yes. Well, your track record is
a lot of issues.
Your track record.
Like he has to respond.
Your track record. But you see,
unlike us.
What time is up? 30 seconds for you.
Finally, you see, this is, I can understand his passion because I have listened to others who feel that, look, this is not the time
30 seconds.
This is not the, are you the host? I have listened to others who feel that this is not the time for us to go through a competitive election because of our own cultural underpinnings. Not so.
Yeah.
We are Muslims. When you look at the northern region,
yeah,
we are the nerve center of Islam. You turn every corner, they are calling the azan.
You are the nerve center of democracy and the nerve center of Islam.
Yes. He knows that, as a matter of fact. You turn every corner, they are calling the azan, and we say that we love each other and we hold to the Islamic principles. So someone like him, who is a Muslim, and my very good self, and also if you look at our culture, the numbers would be a bit uncomfortable and discomforting because it would have been, okay, wait, all the love for Honorable Murtala, is this how we are doing it? But this is different from democratic practice. This is different from what our constitution says. So I know that is the discomfort he has.
Absolutely.
Many people have that discomfort. In all honesty,
many
people have that discomfort. Yes, I won't run away from it. But you see, that is, we cannot substitute how we feel for our democratic.
Thank you, Hamza.
Let me help you with your discomfort. You see, it's very important, my brother.
I was on the floor. You are telling me.
No, Hamza, it's okay. Let him have it. Let him have it. Yes.
He's made a point for me. I am, trust me, I keep using the word not palatable. I thought that he's spoken about our cultural underpinnings and the kind of people we are. And like I said, the situation that was presented with, as it were, did not actually warrant a situation like this we're seeing in Tamale Center within the NDC. Look, truth is that they tried going on the tangent that I thought they should have gone. And delegates on the ground said that, look, you cannot sit in Accra and choose somebody for us.
Okay.
To the extent that they threatened that should you bring a candidate, we are going to vote for an independent person who will emerge. And I told you there are videos to that effect. But you see, that tells you how a party in disarray, a party with a leadership, appears.
Really?
If you do, and you are on the ground, and these are people who are your men, you cannot convince them, talk to them, let them appreciate the discomfort this will create, then I think it's unfortunate.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Unfortunate.
Thank you, gentlemen.
No, it is only fair.
I wish you both.
There's nothing fairness about you coming in.
There's nothing fairness about it.
Kamal-Deen Abdullah is a deputy director for communications of the NPP. Hamza is a legal practitioner. You see, when Hamza takes another one, this one will take. Our time is up. Hamza Sohoyini is a legal practitioner and a member of the NDC's communications team. Thank you very much.
You tweet the rest of his response. Tweet the rest of what you want to say.